And my question is, what if I die tomorrow with accident or just with a certain disease? What do I going to leave as a legacy to other people? So the problem is, majority of people think that the only person has to write a book must be very successful, rich person. We forget that each person, no matter how poor or successful you are, you have a story to tell. What's your story? For instance, if you go to someone who became the best student in Tanzania in high school, he can write a book how he became the first best student in Tanzania. You can write the book. And if the person who I got F in mathematics, I completely failed, I can write a book just how did I come to fail in mathematics? What mistakes did I do with my failure so that another person can be able to succeed? Or not to follow what I did so that I can fail. So that is the problem. People, we are thinking that you must be famous to write a book. That's number one. And secondly, many people don't write the book because they think about how much money it costs them to write a book, like in terms of publication and everything. But nowadays, so people that think about, oh, Reginald Mengi wrote the book because he's a millionaire. Former President Mkapa wrote the book because he's rich. I mean, he's rich. He's a former president. President Kikwete did the same thing because they are famous. They have money to publish the books. But what if you were just a high school student? What if you are just this person selling tomatoes, or you are primary school teacher? You have been teaching for 30 years. You want to share your story. How are you going to cover the cost of printing the book, publishing the books? That is where myself, I've dedicated my life on explaining to people how myself I managed to publish all these books. Because many people, they think this guy has a lot of money. Why? How is this person is planned to has published 11 books? But what I'm doing is what is called self-publishing. In Western countries, there are certain services where you can be able to publish books for free. You don't pay even $1 or 1 shilling. What you do, you create a book cover from their system, you upload the book based on the template they give you, you upload it there in the system, like Amazon, Lulu, Barnes and Nobles. All these are the big companies. They do free self-publishing. You upload everything. Once they sell the book, the author is getting 60% of the book, and then they get 40%. So still, you don't need to pay anything up front. It's about you. That's why I tell people, you have to write a book, and the cost of printing will be covered by Amazon, by all these companies. So that's one of the ways, is to educate people that you can write the book and you can publish for free without getting any kind of problem with anywhere. I have 11 books and I've never used even $1 to publish my book. Everything is free of charge. So one quotation I made a couple years ago, usually I tell people, is you don't need to be Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey to inspire people. You are inspiration to others in so many ways because you are God's masterpiece. Because if we wait until we become famous like Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey, millionaire, billionaire, that means you might not end up writing a book. Just assume right now, the father of Barack Obama, the former president of the United States of America, let's assume the father wrote certain letters or wrote a book about his life, how that book will be very impactful to Barack Obama, who had no opportunity to be raised by his father, or the grandchildren, Sasha and Maria, who have never met their grandfather from Kenya. But if you could write the book, even if you are not selling them, but it's just that kind of written text, will be a very important legacy.
Good. So I would like to know this, Makulilo.
Yes.
You said one of your recent books has 468 pages, right?
498.
498 pages.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to finish writing that book?
That one was, it was about a month, because half of the book is the content I created from myself, I wrote myself, and half of the book is a research about, so there is what I call the actual degree programs. Like if I'm giving information about scholarships in America for anthropologists, PhD, so I put all the universities in America. So my job was, I took longer to research, but not to write. So then I go to summarize what they're going to offer, what kind of PhD they are offering, when is the deadline. So that didn't take, took longer time to research. But writing-wise, it was like about 200 pages, which I use like a month to be able to write that kind of book. Most of my books I write within 3 months. Most of my books, because my books are 150 to 200 pages, most of the books. So I try to make sure that I write within 90 days, average like 2 pages in a day, something like that.
Okay, so which gives me this answer of the question I have been trying to reason, how long it takes for you to write so many books. And I get to know that if you write about something that you know or something you have done research about, probably that will take a very short time for you to finish the book.
Yes.
Now, it has been a long time claim by young writers in Africa, in Tanzania in particular, that writing might not be a big deal, but publishing. As I said, nowadays we can publish on Amazon or in any other software or maybe in any other website. So these young writers have been declaring to face many challenges while trying to publish their works in Tanzania. It seems that many publishers in Tanzania fear to work with young writers lest they don't sell much. Do you think publishers have been part of the problem? Apart from there being Amazon or Simgazeti or Lulu, do you think these publishers have been part of the problem, causing many young writers to fade, hence making people not read books because there are no books to read?
I don't blame much the publishers, because we are in capitalism and they're doing business, so they have to invest on things they know they will sell, and if you haven't shown anything, it will be difficult for them to trust whether this book will be able to sell. I understand their point of view, but yes, because there are no more books about African context, that becomes a problem. Because people now are reading books about who? About Michelle Obama. They're not reading books about the woman who, the Kenyan woman, is Martha who, the one who won the gold medal, the environmental Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, Wangari Maathai.
Yes,